there's only two people that you could argue could talk as good as me, and that's Chael and Connor. I'm not gonna have any other name in that list.
He says he's one of the best talkers in the UFC. Let's see if he is also one of the best fighters. It's Ian Garry taking his 9-0 undefeated record against Gabe Green, who is 11-3 and riding a nice 2-fight win streak. I mean, he just absolutely smoked Johan Lamas, and before that, he took out Philip Rowe with ease. And if we look at Gabe Green's only losses, he lost to Daniel Rodriguez in his UFC debut. Way back in the day, he lost to Jalen the Tarantula Turner in Bellator, and Jalen's also on this card. And then he lost to Random Buffalo before that. So he's picked up a lot of nice wins and only has a handful of losses. And he's being fed to Ian Garry, who the Phenom is someone coming in with a lot of hype. Obviously, he's managed to get the job done in his first 2 UFC contests. His debut was a successful one against Jordan Williams. He knocked him out in the first round, and then most recently, he went the distance against Darian Weeks, and it was a convincing, easy, unanimous win for Ian Garry, but one that he was unable to get the finish in. So I'm curious to see how he stacks up against a very tough guy like Gabe Green, and it looks as though Vegas is giving Ian Garry the -165 favorite, Gabe Green plus 140, and a similar sentiment over on Tapology. So who are you rolling with in this one, me? Are you taking gifted Gabe Green, or does Ian Garry get this done again?
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup because everyone, especially the casuals, very high on Ian Garry, the future, versus Gabe Green, which I bet you most people don't even know or remember his last 3 fights. But yeah, I'm pretty torn on this. This is a pick 'em, I could see Ian Garry maybe showing up and maybe get it done, but also I could see Gabe Green absolutely mauling to where it's like, wow, I can't believe we picked Ian Garry. That being said, I think I'm going to pick Ian Garry just to join the hype train, but I totally kind of see him being starched in the first or second round. But my gut's just feeling Ian Garry. I think the UFC knows the matchmake. They would prefer him to win over Green, so I'm going to roll with him.
Yeah, good stuff. And the UFC is obviously still at this point of his career trying to give him winnable fights, right? It's not like they're throwing him into the deep end immediately. Gabe Green, very tough fighter, but it only gets way tougher from this point forward. So from the UFC standpoint, they're likely going to think that the future gets this one done. And 79% again of Tapology is thinking along that same way. Most of it is going for that decision. 21%, however, is rolling with gifted Gabe Green, and majority is beige as well. They like the decision. So in this one, I'm pretty torn, but ultimately, I'm going to go with Gabe Green. I think he's going to find a better way to mix this one up. I'm hopefully takes this thing down to the mat because we know that Ian Garry is pretty shifty on the feet. He's got a nice arsenal as far as the stand-up game is concerned, and I like to think that Gabe Green, I don't know, I'm a little nervous to see what it looks like on the feet, so I just really hope he makes it dirty, makes it ugly, takes this thing down to the mat, and is able to steal rounds against the future, because if he does that, I think he's going to be able to get this one done. So I'm rolling with gifted Gabe Green. Any last thoughts on this matchup? And is he the future, or is Macy Barber the future, or are they both the past?
They could be the past, they could be the future. Throw in the comments who you think truly is, and make sure to smash that meat and subscribe.